very insightful presentation as well. Dr. Eddie Cohen, you have the floor now.
Yes, hello. It's 5 p.m. In Israel, so good afternoon. I will share my my presentation. Do you see it? Yes? Okay. Well, I'm Eddie Cohen. I'm an expert on Arab affairs. I'm Israeli. In Israel, we often hear about, in the international media, in the Arab media, the word Israeli settlement. So-called Israel has expulsed its original people, the Palestinian people. Israeli settlement inhabited by Israelis on Palestinian lands. Israeli murder the Palestinians, etc., etc., etc. This is not true. These lands are disputed area. These lands don't belong to Palestinians. Although we hear every day, the word Israeli settlement. Now, my lecture will focus on what happens in Afrin, in these areas. Turkey has built many settlements, dozens of settlements. I will show you. In everyone silent. If you Google it, you don't hear about it. You don't see articles about it. This is the double standard, new double standard that we are facing here. These are new Turkish settlement in Afrin. As I heard before, they spoke about the Turkish invasion in March 2018. Turkey launched Operation Olive Branch in cooperation with Syrian rebel forces. It's cooperation between the Turk and the Syrian rebel forces. As part of the operation, Turkish forces entered northern Syria and occupied the Syrian town of Afrin. 90% of the people that lived in 2018 were Kurds, 90%, maybe more. The Turkish-backed Syrian rebels committed war crimes against Kurdish residents. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights reported that these forces controlled Afrin, kidnapped, raped women, and made many atrocities in this area. Many of the Kurds who resisted were killed, and those surviving were forced to flee, and the Turks took control of the town, of their lands, and of their houses. Today, 2.5 years after the occupation, maybe more, Turkish forces still control Afrin after the ethnic cleansing was carried out upon its Kurdish residents. The town became a mixed Syrian-Turkish town. They changed the demography of this area. They made Arabization of this area. As we know, the Kurdish are Muslims, but they are not Arabs. So the Kurds, unfortunately, during the history, were persecuted by everyone, by the Turkish, by the Arabs, by the Iranian, and they don't have the political lobby or power as Palestinians have. Millions of euros NGO in country in Europe contribute to the Palestinian cause, and they have NGO and think tank, but the Kurds, they don't have it. So now we have a moral duty to shed light about what happens here in this area. One of the countries financing the construction of this settlement is none other than Kuwait. Yes, Kuwait has repeatedly attacked Israel for what it refers as illegal Israeli construction in illegal settlements on the occupied West Bank, Judea and Samaria, as I said, these are disputed area and don't belong to the Palestinians. The funding for Turkey's illegal occupation is provided by Kuwait directly, but Kuwait is not the only supporter. Working hand in hand with Kuwait in the Turks, and also there is an Israel-Arab non-profit organization, Live with Dignity, לחיות בכבוד, which is entirely funded by donation from Arabs in Israel. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights further noted that the Turkish government continues its effort to change the demography of Afrin canton by establishing a new village for Syrian refugees. With the support of a Kuwaiti Palestinian association known as Sharm el-Khair. These are, ladies and gentlemen, a village. It's written in Arabic, Qaryat Kuwait al-Rahma, the village Rahma of Kuwait. Al-Rahma is the name of the who contribute the money, the Kuwaiti Association. And as you see down in the right, the flag of the Syrian rebels and the flag of Turkey. These settlements, ladies and gentlemen, are built on Kurdish lands. This is Syria. Yes, it's Syria, but it's Kurdish land owned by Kurdish people. We have a lack of information about did they buy the land? I don't think so. And if they do, how much? We have no information about what happened there. They built dozens, hundreds of houses in the, unfortunately, this subject is very, very unknown to the public or in the international public. As I said, before the war, 90% were Kurds. Now Afrin, it's a mixed village. Look, this is the opening of the village.
Professor Cohen, not to interrupt you, we can't see the full presentation. So if there's a way for you to press, I believe it's F5, we'll start the slideshow on your computer so that everyone can see the slides you're talking about. I don't mean to interrupt you. I just don't want anyone to miss it. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. I need you. You have to. Do you see it now?
No, but if you want, I can.
Oh, I see. It's up now. It's up now. You're advancing.
Oh, it's now? Okay, this is the slide we're on. Okay, slide 4,
okay.
Perfect.
Okay, this is the village. My lecture, what I wanted to speak today, I will not mention, I will not focus on the conflict between the Turkish and the Kurdish, or the Assad regime or the Kurdish. What my purpose is to show you and to show the public opinion in the whole world also what happened 3 years ago or 2 years ago in Afrin, where we were all busy about the corona. The Turkish built illegal settlements. They killed the owners, they robbed the owners. We don't have enough information, but surely these settlements are illegal. This is also, do you see the picture? This is the opening of the village. You can see the Kuwaiti flag and you can see the Turkish. The Kuwaiti and the Turkish, this regime are affiliated with the Muslim brothers. They help each other. This we have to, with this picture, we have the legal aspect in order to investigate how this Afrin, a Kurdish city, become now an Arabic city, that Arabs lived there. I think the Kuwaiti government must answer the question. The Kuwaiti government must give us questions. What the Turkish also, of course, the Turkish are responsible as occupier. This is under, it's illegal. They changed the demographic status of Afrin. Unfortunately, the Kurds are very weak, and their voice is not heard by the international community. I urge you, all of the panelists, to begin to investigate and to shed light what happened in Afrin. We have pictures now. You see, these are dozens. Do you see this new Syrian village? Do you see it? This is
what slide are you supposed to be on? This is the Al-Raqqa slide.
This is a new Syrian village for who lives there. There are Turkish proxies, Syrian rebels, but it's on Kurdish land. It's on Kurdish land in Afrin. I focused on this settlement. Lately, the Afrin
Professor Cohen, what slide are you supposed to be on? I think you want to advance your slides. Move. I think you want to move forward. We're still on the
No, this is the last one. I want to resume. This is the last slide.
We're not on the last slide. We're still on the Al-Raqqa slide, is the one that's being shown. Is that what we're on? We're on slide 4.
Okay.
There you go. Can you go back and let us see some of those slides, because it's very interesting pictures. Okay.
This is the first. This is the beginning of the building, the Turkish flag. These are the new village. This is, we see the flag, the Kuwaiti flag and the Syrian flag. You can see the Kuwaiti flag.
Your slides aren't being advanced. Your slides aren't being advanced. You have to go forward to the slide until it pops up.
Anyway, we don't see the Kurdish flags. This is Kurdish land. We don't see the Kurdish land. This is the Arabization of Afrin.
Dr. Cohen, sorry to interrupt you. I think you're supposed to be on slide 7, not slide 8, because now we only see slide 8.
Okay. So 8. This is
go
my.
Back.
You need to go back one slide.
Okay. What I want to
click. You should be able to click
the
on
left
7.
arrow. Click the left arrow.
Is it okay? Can we see it?
Go back. We did not if you click back onto the next slide. Click back. You have good pictures here. You want to show it? Click back on.
I will send you the picture, Ariel. I will send you. You have it, the picture anyway.
I'll send around the presentations after.
Yes,
Dr.
I want to conclude. I want to conclude my lecture. My lecture focused on what's happening in the ground. As I said, I'm not dealing with a conflict, only what the Turkish occupation forces has done. So the Turkish has built illegal settlements in Afrin with Kuwaiti money. And this is illegal. I'm not speaking now about the atrocities or they killed the Kurds. This is another aspect of the conflict. I'm speaking now about the Turkish settlement. The world must know that the Turkish, with Kuwaiti money, built illegal settlement. They all the day speak about Israeli settlement. Now it's time to speak, to hear the new word, Turkish illegal settlement. We have, as a researcher, a moral duty to shed light about this, what happens in the ground. And thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much, Dr. Cohen, and thank you everybody for the very insightful presentation. I think one theme we are gathering from all of those presentations is the lack of coverage on this topic. There's not a lot of attention on the international community and over